Another example is like, let's just say you're dating someone, right? But they can't have sex with you for some odd reason, church, whatever. When you can do something, but there are societal norms, religious norms, or even contextual norms that doesn't let you physically do what you want with them, that barrier, the physical barrier, the mental barrier, societal barrier, the professionalism barrier intensifies the attraction. Oh Lord. Like, you're with your teacher, you like your teacher, when you and you want to do something, but you can't. That barrier literally is like a lubricant that makes you want them more. Just the you can't part makes them want you more. Right? Or even if you're with your ex and they have a new boyfriend and girlfriend and you're just hanging out with them, which I don't know what the fuck you're doing that. The fact that you can't be together makes it even more tantalizing, makes it even more desirable. An example of that is one time.
Like a boss.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be talking about how to play with their emotions using a temptation. Okay, I find this an extremely powerful way to control people's emotions. They understand when I talk about control, I talk about the natural process when people are in love with you. When people are in love with you, you have control over their emotions. They have given you control. If you have no control over how they feel, there's no love. Get what I'm saying? You trust that the person doesn't abuse of that power, but at the end of the day, you're giving them control. So we're going to talk about how to use the control that they give us in a way to give them a powerful experience. How to use the control that they give us to give them an experience that's unforgettable, to make them fall in love quicker, to give them an adventure, to get them to get out of their adult exterior and become a little irrational for 1 second. Because people will need that. The world that we live in is so black and gray that we need some color. We need some emotions. We need some pain and contrast and pleasure. So we're going to learn to do that, because nowadays people have moralized playing the game. People have moralized giving people a powerful experience. Everyone wants to be natural. Everyone wants to be not play games. But that's a denial of the reality of the world that we live in. That it is a game. You are a social actor. You are wearing a mask. You are on the stage. And some people are better actors than you, and you're going to fall behind because of it. The most attractive people are people who know how to play the game better. So we're going to talk about this, and please, when you watch this, don't moralize. When you watch this, keep an open mind as to what it is to seduce someone, what it is to play with emotion, because we want our emotions to fluctuate. We want to feel this, we want to feel that, and we date people who are fucking boring, who don't excite any emotion, who don't excite any excitement, any jealousy, any pain, any pleasure, any desire, any temptation. So we're going to talk about how to do that. And I can promise you, if you know how to do this the right way, you'll be so captivating. Tyrone won't know how to deal with you. Okay? I mean, Tyrone, like, if I'm a guy and I'm a personal trainer, Tyrone's not taking my girl. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's begin this. And if you guys want to learn how to apply this type of content in your life in a one-on-one basis, if you want to call me and have access to me, and you say, Father Alex, how do I apply this? How do I get the girl? How do I get them to like me through these strategies? I can show you how to do this, because I understand some people watch it, but they want to know exactly what to do, but they don't know how to do it. So what you guys could do is just scan the QR code that you see right here, and there you'll be able to work with me one-on-one, or click on the description down below where it says work with me one-on-one. And there you'll be able to have access to me tomorrow, because today I'm kind of sick, but pretty much I'm available a lot. Okay. Now I can't talk all the time. Okay. Father Alex is busy, but I open them. Like I said, some of these barriers, because it's important to have barriers. Okay. One is time, making them wait. Impatience is every human weakness. People don't have patience. Okay. So if you make somebody wait, just that becomes a temptation. Why? Because they're here, but they want to be there. And the barrier is time. And in between that, they have to live. They have to focus on life. But they want this real badly. So in that, they sense the force of their desires. And it distracts them. It creates a tension inside that they cannot relieve until the moment of that desire fulfillment comes into their lives. Right? And this is why impatience is, humans are impatient. And people get scammed through impatience. Quick riches. Hey, I'll show you how to make money quick. I'll show you how to get good at this quick. And that quick instant gratification is a temptation for most people. It's the biggest weakness humans have, right? The next one is social barriers. I can't do that because I'm a Christian. I don't do that type of stuff because it's the first date. I can't do that because you're that race. Oh, I can't do that because you're not part of this tribe. Oh, I can't do that because you're this or you're that. Barriers, people. I can't do that because I'm married, right? Those barriers, literally telling people you can't because of this. You know, like, ever since that girl that I'm gonna tell you the story about a drawing student that I had that completely just lost all sense of professionalism. But I could prompt, like, just the thought that I couldn't do something makes you want that thing more. Like, if they're married, first of all, I don't understand the attraction for married women. I'll be honest with you. At least I know there's just something about married women that there's no temptation for there. But some guys just love married women. It's kind of crazy, man. Or women who are taken. I don't get that desire, right? But social barriers. It could be that you're rich and she's poor, or vice versa. That's what happened with Jack and Titanic, right? Where she loved him, but she wanted that dick, but she knew she couldn't be with him because he was poor, and that barrier increased her desire for him. You get what I'm saying? Like, that barrier was why she was one of the reasons why she was so attractive. Other than the fact that he was contrasting differently than her husband. He was contrastingly different than the husband. She was unhappy. But one of it also is just the fact that he was of another social norm and her family didn't want her to be with him. And so he became her temptation, right? Another thing is external professionalism. You work together. They're your boss. You're his boss, right? Or he's your teacher and you can't do nothing with them. I hear stories of in Mexico here of the students banging the teachers all the fucking time. I'm like, what is going on here? Where the students keep fucking the students. I mean, where the teachers keep fucking the students. And without a shadow of a doubt, the main reason, outside of the fact that maybe they're attractive in position of power, is the fact that you can't do that. Telling people you can't because of this makes them want you more. Play on that. People desire that. People want what they can't have. Give them that opportunity. They'll never forget you for it. You first have to find their weaknesses. And this is why I say weaknesses. Weaknesses are things that everyone has. And it is because of their weaknesses that people fall in love. People want others to help them with their weaknesses. Anytime somebody can fulfill a weakness they have, can compensate for their weaknesses, they fall in love with them. You want to find a fantasy that they yearn and hint that you could possibly bring it to tuition. And that fantasy can be anything. As long as it opens up their imagination, as long as it opens up their minds to think about the future, to think of a potential pleasure, a potential fantasy, their bodies then become reactive. They react to those mental images with excitement, with yearning, with anticipation and desire. And their willpower as a result lowers because they begin to depend on you to fulfill those fantasies. And as a result, they become your willful slave in a positive way. And then the temptation could be anything. Temptation could be a guilty pleasure. Temptation could be sex. Temptation could be money, power, wealth, control, adventure. As long as you let them know that you could possibly hint at fulfilling that, and as long as you make them wait, the future will seem bright and you become a temptation that they just want to consume all the time. Now, how do you find that thing to tell them? How do you find that titillating desire that they have that if you hint at being able to fulfill it, they become your willful slave? Well, first of all, you got to listen. You got to stop being so self-absorbed. Stop trying to get them to seduce you and learn to find pleasure in seducing people. Learn to find pleasure in playing with emotion. Learn to find pleasure in giving people an experience. You want to see it that way. You don't want to see it as manipulative. You want to see it as you're literally pleasing them. They're lying down and you're pleasing them. But rather than pleasing them in this sexual way, you're pleasing them with an emotional experience. And with that, and just like pleasing the body, it's all about timing and pace. This is also about timing and pace. Just with the body, you're also manipulating things. What am I going like that? With the mind, with the heart, you're also manipulating perception to give them that desire effect on them. So how do you search for it? Like I said, you have to be willing to look for it. You have to stop thinking of yourself and stop making the world all revolve around you. That's the first step. Once you realize that they are interesting, that they have desires, fantasies, and that you want to find what that is, all of a sudden you start to see things completely different. Because if you don't look for it, or you don't have the curiosity, or you're too selfish, or you're too impatient, you can literally have a willful victim in front of you wanting to be seduced, wanting to be taken along this adventure in and wanting to have some delayed gratification because you have no control of your libido and your emotions. You pop the bubble. You end the movie right before it got good. And so that's the thing. That's why people are just so unsatisfied with people, because people are selfish. That's something I have to learn, because I'm selfish. I could be selfish. You know, my therapist told me that, Alexis, you call yourself selfish, but the truth is you're not selfish. You are selfish in some areas, but in a lot of areas you're not selfish. So I'm like, okay, all right, therapist, take my money here. Good job, right? So you got to search their past, and the way that you search that, like I said, it comes through curiosity. When you start looking for it, they're gonna slip out some things. For example, it's like when you own a Honda Civic. All of a sudden you see Honda Civics everywhere. But those Honda Civics were always there. You were always in the hood in the Bronx. But now because you own a Honda Civic, one, it's gonna get stolen, and two, you're gonna see it everywhere. So when you start looking for what people want, you're gonna notice how much of what people want slips out of their mouth. How often people say their desires. Why? Because people don't like to hold in secrets. Even the biggest murderer wants to tell people what the things they've done. People want to expose themselves. People don't like to be in the dark. So how do you do it? Well, first of all, look for secret desires that they have in the past. Whatever they fear or flee from, you need repression, secret desires, right? For example, if you go to Afghanistan, as an example, you'll notice that there's a lot of porn that's like hijab porn, right? Like you'll see, if you look at the map as to where certain desires are, you'll notice that it reflects a social norm. Let's find out. All right, so let's find out, right? How do you find out a person's true secret desire? Well, sometimes you just look at their culture, right? For example, cultural norms and taboos. Certain search terms, an example is like the Pornhub search term, that you'll notice that certain search terms are more popular in certain areas compared to others, even within states and countries. And this is a reflection of cultural norms and values. It's not a coincidence, right? So certain search terms may reflect societal norms or taboos. For example, high search volumes for content related to taboo categories might suggest that these themes are considered forbidden, stigmatized in a public discourse, but still hold significant private interest. For example, in Japan, they have this thing, like if you watch Japanese porn, which I don't, I mean, I do, okay? And one of the things is public sex in a park, public sex in a bus where the woman gets groped, right? And it's like, how is that a fantasy? Well, kind of makes sense, right? They're repressed, they're quiet, they're not around people, so you can kind of see how maybe they want to express their sexuality in a public place, right? Or Japan, a similar one is hentai. They have a high search for hentai, and anime reflects that the country's rich culture of animated entertainment and its integration into sexual fantasy. So if you're Japanese, if you're dating someone Japanese, being a anime character as cosplay is deeply pleasurable. Or even if you're dating a Japanese guy, if you look like an anime character, honestly, I've been talking, I kind of look like an anime character, you spark up that desire, right? Just go look at the Pornhub map, man. Another example is the gender dynamics and roles, right? Recurring themes in searches can indicate prevailing gender roles and dynamics. An example, the United States. Searches for MILF cheerleaders or teachers could hint at a fetishization of certain authoritative and nurturing female roles, right? Or you'll see how like the powerful boss bitch, right? You'll see that how it's like, yo, you're gonna fuck me now, right? So you'll see that amongst powerful people. So a lot of women notice that powerful men like to be submitted. So if somebody has a lot of power, you'll notice that maybe they have a desire to be submissive, right? And so having a sense of power, having a powerful aura tends to make them submissive. And sometimes powerful women want a man to tell them what to do because they're tired of telling men what to do all the time, right? Other example is Sweden. High searches for swinger or group sex. Oh, yo, Sweden, yo, these white people are crazy, man. You think, anyways, may indicate a more liberal attitude towards sexual experimentations and open relationships, right? But also in those places, you also then say that a lot of them have lack of emotional closeness with people, I suppose, right? In Germany, there's a high search for latex or BDSM, which mirrors a strong subculture around fetish and kink communities within the country, right? And these things are things that you can look for. It's a generalization, right? See where they live, but they're part of that culture. They're influenced by that culture. So you could it's really a pretty good educated guess to see what the culture around them likes and assume they like it as long as they're not a rebel. Because if they're a rebel, then you got to go in the opposite direction. So if they like, for example, like if the culture around you likes, like in Germany or like in Sweden, group sex, if this person is a rebel, 100% that person will be more into monogamy. Because rebels, people who are rebellious, are more of a mirror of the society more than the people who follow the norms, right? They spell to you in the negative what type of society they are through the rebellious people. Now, let's talk about this, right? Other ways that you could do that is, like I said, what do they repress? If they're Christians, understand they repress a lot of sex. Ladies and gentlemen, when I was a Christian, I was a good Christian, by the way. I never went after a girl. They went after me. They thought I was gay. Like, seriously, they thought I was gay. But I never went after a girl. And I remember, man, like when I stopped going to church, I mean, which kind of explains me, right? Like it kind of does, because I lived repressed, right? So any girl that offers, right, you tend to fall for them, man. Right? Secret desires. What things that you could ask people to find out how to tempt them is finding out, what do they want? What are some secret desires that you enjoy that you don't get often? Or you could ask, is there anything you've always wanted to try but haven't had a chance to? Make sure you ask that after a few drinks, right? Another example of that, if they're anti-gay, if they're not for gay, if they really hate gay people, I mean, Lord have mercy, if they really hate the gays, understand that they may have a little homosexual repressive desire. So maybe you don't have to give them some dick. You could just have a androgynous look, or even a tomboy look if it's a guy, and vice versa, right? Where you have a lot of women who are against the patriarchy, but they tend to date guys that are super feminine. Wait, is it that? I don't remember. I think it was the opposite, right? Right? You could find out if they're sexless. Well, they do have repressed desires, right? Observe their dark side. Their dark side speaks a lot about them, right? Who do they admire as a way to find their dark side? And an example is like the cannibal girl I dated one time. There was this one girl who, first of all, anyways, she wanted to eat a person, and when she first told me that, my blood became cold. I never felt my blood becoming cold. I swear to God, I never felt that. Like it literally felt like the temperature came down, because I was like, am I gonna get eaten here, man? And it's just like, nah, I just want to taste. And I'm like, okay, so let me ask you something. Would you eat a dinosaur? She was like, yeah, I would love to eat a dinosaur. I'm like, okay, this bitch just likes to eat crazy shit. Okay. And she said how when she dated a guy, he also had the curiosity, but I never followed through. But she said one of the things that she would do was that every time they would go out and hang out, that she would like, I would eat him, or I would eat that guy. And they were like, no, I wouldn't eat that guy. He's too chubby, right? And even though that's insane, right? Finding someone who can share those repressed desires with you, as long as you're not committing a crime, is highly seductive to people. right? Or if they're dating, if they're in a racist area and you're white and they're black, you're gonna be attracted to them. Or if you're in Gaza, for example, and one is Muslim and Jewish people, that's gonna be a fucking a bomb ass attraction. Jesus Christ! I mean, there's like there's a lot of tension in between that, right? It's like the Romeo and Juliet type of thing, right? When you cannot be with the person, that's when you want to be with the person. That's a temptation, right? But another example is like, let's just say you're dating someone, right? But they can't have sex with you for some odd reason, church, whatever. When you can do something, but there are societal norms, religious norms, or even contextual norms that doesn't let you physically do what you want with them, that barrier, the physical barrier, the mental barrier, societal barrier, the professionalism barrier intensifies the attraction. Oh Lord, you're with your teacher, you like your teacher, when you and you want to do something, but you can't. That barrier literally is like a lubricant that makes you want them more. Just the you can't part makes them want you more. Right? Or even if you're with your ex and they have a new boyfriend and girlfriend and you're just hanging out with them, which I don't know what the fuck you're doing that. The fact that you can't be together makes it even more tantalizing, makes it even more desirable. An example of that is one time I was I remember I told the story of me getting mugged in Mexico in New York. And when I told the story of me getting mugged, it was such a good story that they gave me a standing ovation. It was like in an apartment. And one of the girls was so impressed that she gave me her number. It's crazy. Crazy shit. Thank God I got mugged, right? And I remember she was so hot. Honestly, because usually I meet people online. But this was one of the first girls I've met in a while through a normal life setting. And I remember it just felt so different. It felt so fucking different. When she hugged me, yo, because I didn't know if she liked me, but I liked her. But I hope she called me. So that uncertainty, the barrier. Because if you're online and online dating, I know she liked me because she already swiped right on me. This, I don't know if she likes me. I don't know if she's just being polite. Because sometimes women give you their number and they don't do nothing about it. So when she gave me that hug, Jesus Christ, people, it felt like I was in flesh heaven. Sounds crazy. But just because you know how you just have a taste of something? When you have a taste of something, like how some restaurants only give you small portions because they know after a certain amount of eating, you have diminishing returns, so they try to keep it at a peak level. So they give you a certain amount. That subtle hug has so much electricity. I mean, Lord have mercy. I was like, yo, what the fuck was that? That was crazy. But that's because now there's more uncertainty, like I talked about yesterday, but also there's a barrier. There's a barrier. You don't know if she likes you. You don't know if she's going to call you. You don't know if you're ever going to see her again. But that touch was so good. That's how you do it. You create that barrier. Let them touch you a little bit. Touch them here and there. Let them you get what I'm saying? Let them have a physical touch with you, but don't let them grab onto it, right? And you'll notice it creates more desire. The more is less when it comes to this, right? And it was just crazy. I remember to this day, people. It was the touch of heaven, right? And this is the thing, is that you have to make them struggle. Like, even when you know they want it, make them wait. The problem that I have is that people are too impatient. Even me, you're too impatient. You want it too much. You want it too fast. So that impatience makes you pop the bubble too quickly. This is on you. This game strategy that I'm teaching you guys is an extremely pleasurable experience. But anything good requires self-control on your part. And sometimes you want the person so badly because they're just so good, especially when you know there's a barrier, professional barrier. Maybe you guys are teachers and you guys want to do something, but he has a husband or you have a husband. I don't recommend it, but you see, this happens often. This is why people cheat with their spouses, with people they work with, because they're their ultimate temptation. Ladies and gentlemen, this is every human weakness. Why the hell do you think we sin? Because of temptation, right? So you want to, because then since you're the one in control, you controlling yourself, then that means they also have to control themselves. It's just as a one-way street. They also have to control themselves. And so The only difference here is that you know they want you, and they don't know whether or not they're gonna get what they want. You know you're gonna give it to them, and you're still suffering, but boy, they're melting inside because they want you, but they don't know when they're gonna get what they want. So this is where controlling your emotions is just so fucking crucial, people, because you gotta prolong it. You gotta control the pace. When they want to speed it up, slow their hot ass down. You know, just say, mommy, hey, slow. I made that mistake. Honestly, I made that mistake. I made that mistake. There was this one girl who I was many years ago. I was teaching drawing. I didn't not painting, but I was teaching drawing, and this girl just kept coming back. She was like, hey, I'm in the neighborhood. I'm like, okay. I'm in the neighborhood, okay. But I'm trying not to do nothing with her because I'm like, you're my student, and you're paying me a lot of good money. She was paying me good, like legit good. And she would just keep coming back and hitting me up. And every time she came, she was dressed in a way. I'm like, what's going on, man? Like, this is some bullshit. I'm just trying to be professional here. A month or two later, because I was not budging, people. I remember I would like I would like go like before meeting her. You know what I'm saying? And one day she was like, I just want to fuck you. And I was like, what? She was like, I can't. I know you want me. Why? She was like, and I was like, God damn it. She was dressing nice. I was like, fuck, let's do it. I was like, fuck, let's do it, man. Lost that client. Never again, people. Never again, right? But I've never seen a girl like it was like it's almost like she was tortured. It was almost like she was tortured. But then I realized, oh my God, I gave her an experience, and unwittingly, that she never forgot before. Because I've never seen someone want something so badly. Right? Like you make them lose their self-control, right? So again, and you could apply these strategies even when you're dating someone long term, right? Because this is what you do when you surprise someone. This is what you do when you tease someone. I'm just teaching you how to do it in a more sophisticated way. And sure, some people can use this for evil. Some people can use this to manipulate. I can't do nothing about that. It's like somebody who teaches martial arts and they're like, oh, I can't teach it because people will kill people with it. It's like, yeah, no, but it's not meant for them. You know, it's meant for people who want to improve their lives and want to defend themselves, right? And just so much of society demonizes this strategy of playing with people's emotions in this way, but it's because they just assume that everyone who does it has bad intentions. This is just giving people a good experience. It's like a magician who doesn't give a fuck about their audience. What are they gonna do? They're gonna show them. They're gonna do their tricks quickly, and there's gonna be no anticipation. There's gonna be no desire. There's gonna be no tension, no intensity, and this is what this does. You don't have to do it all the time, right? But from time to time, create a temptation. And if you just got to know them and meeting them, even better. Like I said, it just takes self-control. I tell people, if you don't know how to control yourselves, practice meditation or purchase my course, Emotional Mastery, by clicking in the description down below. And I'll teach you guys how to control your emotions a little bit better, right? Anyways, people, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. So a lot of you guys have been asking me, how can I purchase all of your courses in one go? Well, if you guys want to purchase all of them, you guys can join the Mindful Attraction University, people. Yeah, that's right. And in this, you'll be able to access all of my courses for $3.99. Initially, if you purchase all of my courses, Emotional Mastery, Psychological Game of Attraction, my new course, The Feminine Woman, Natural Chemistry, Charisma Blueprint, Nice Girl, you guys can purchase all of it for $600, but with the bundle deal, you guys can purchase it for $3.99. Or you guys can purchase it in 3 easy payments of $125, people. Yeah, that's right. Or you guys can purchase it with the bonuses. So you not only you get the courses, but the bonuses. And that comes down to $7.99 or 4 easy and mindful payments of $199. Now, these bonuses are not regular bonuses. These bonuses are legit, almost like courses within a course, right? So you guys can just click on the description down below and explore the types of bonuses. For example, I have bonuses on how to get over your ex, how to become more creative, how to, especially in the feminine woman, I have a bonus about how to penetrate the mind and how to speak in a way that gets people to do what you want them to do. Like, it's honestly one of the craziest sections that I've ever made, because most of these courses, people, I come up with those ideas in meditation retreats. Nobody goes to the extent that I go. I go to meditation retreat to create these courses. There's a 14-day money back guarantee. If you don't like it, just ask me for the money back within 14 days, and I'll give you all the money back. Father Alex has never rejected a money back offer if I offered it. So, and if you guys already purchased one of my courses, for example, and you guys want to get the bonuses while getting a discount, you know what I'm saying? I have discount codes for people who purchase my courses. So if you purchase my courses, just send me a private message. Or if you work with me one-on-one, I'll give you a big discount for the courses. And there I can help all of you guys understand that this is a movement. Most people never knew this type of knowledge before. And I am trying to empower women across the world and liberate them from these negative and one-sided relationships through these courses. So hopefully you guys can spread the message and help other people out. And I'll see you guys inside. Or else I'm close to